Hello and welcome to another tutorial on the if statement. This one is going to deal with profit markup, which means this is a spreadsheet that mainly is for business people. However, computerized financial system students and computer practice students, they all have this topic as part of their in one of their modules. And we're going to do a very short statement, which is this one. We're going to solve this one and put it on a spreadsheet and see how it's calculated using the if statement. Your spreadsheet is going to look like this. Your spreadsheet is going to look like this. We're only going to do the yellow part where we're calculating the selling price per unit. You are given the cost price per unit and you are told to calculate the selling price. However, the selling price differs depending on the amount of the price, the cost price. If the cost price is less, the selling price is calculated with a different percentage. If the cost price is above a certain amount, and is also calculated at a certain percentage. So we are going, let's go back to our spreadsheet. I'm going to change this figure so that we make we make our example more practical. I'm going to change it to 500 because I can see that here we've got 450, 500 and 650. So I'm going to change it to 500 deliberately. So let us break down the spreadsheet. Like I told you in the previous topic, I said you have to analyze the statement and put it into quantitative formula. You've got if, which means it's an if statement. You got the cost price, which means you must find the cost price on the spreadsheet. You got the word below, it means it is less than. You realize there is no equal sign here, it means they deliberately don't have equal sign. You've got the comma, which means this is the statement number 1. And then after the comma, you got statement number 2, because they say then add 20%. And then statement number 3, they say otherwise add 15%. So if the cost price is below 500, you put 20%. Otherwise, you add 15%. So it means you're going to add the 20% on top of the current cost price, so that it becomes, the cost price becomes the selling price. So let us go to the spreadsheet. Now, it means this area, this column must be the selling price. We must convert this amount into a selling price by adding either 20% or 15%. Now, let us use our if statement to answer the question. I'm going to increase my window so that when I click other things, you can see the things that I'm clicking on, like formulas. So we're going to start here. I'm going to press equal sign to start our calculation. So they said if, which means we must go to the logical and find the if, and they say if what? If the cost price is represented by 500 on C3. If 500 or if C3 is less than, which means we must put a less than sign. They said less than 500. Then the statement ended there. Then what must happen? Then the same cost price C3 must be increased by 20%. Must be increased by 20%. I'll go back, that's what you see. If it's below, then add 20%. So I'm going to go back there. We must add 20% to this. How do you add 20% to 500? You multiply. You have to multiply the amount by, you have to multiply by the amount by 120 divided by 120 divided by 100. I will explain that. Accounting student will understand quicker, but I'm also gonna explain that to those who are non-accounting students. And then they said, otherwise you have to do what? Add 15%. So it's the same 500. If it's different, you must add the 20%, the 15%. So it's also multiplied by 115 divided by the 100. So you must note that I've used the 100 and 100, and I've got my 20% and my 15. So every time they ask you to increase a number, especially when dealing with profit and discount, you only take, there's always 100, and you add the percentage that you are told to add. Then you're gonna say you're gonna say enter, and you realize that it has added the 20% to the 500, and then we use the fill down function to calculate the rest. If you click in on this one, all of them, the formula have copied across.